Hey there YouTube, it's Ashley Catalina back. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today in this video we're going to be talking about pendulums and how to use them. Also, I will admit that this video is also kind of an excuse for me to show off all my pendulums, so yeah, I hope that you enjoy the video, so let's get to it. Alright, so first things first, what's a pendulum? A pendulum is a divination tool that is used to answer yes or no questions. Normally, they are made from some type of crystal. There's kind of different shapes, but they're usually in this like cone shape. However, you can make your own. Even an old necklace can be used as a pendulum. So basically it's just a weighted object on a string, weighted enough that it can give you a good swing to give you clear yes or no answers. Now, how does a pendulum work? Some people say that your micro movements from your subconscious are what actually cause pendulums to work. So for example, if I'm thinking of a question that I already sort of know the answer to, like when my birthday is or something, and if it automatically gives me a yes or a no, depending what the answer is, this is my lapis lazuli pendulum. And I will tell you this, all pendulums seem to have different personalities. Now, you don't need to have 1,000 pendulums. I have a couple because they answer, basically they have different personalities, okay? It's kind of weird to think about, but yeah, they do. So this is my lapis lazuli pendulum. This is my malachite pendulum. This is actually the very first pendulum that I ever got. Well, other than my very first pendulum, which was actually just an old ring that I decided to put on a string. This is a pendulum made from the crystal tiger's eye. This one's fairly newer, but it seems to be working pretty well. So here's what you're going to want to do when you use a pendulum. You're going to want to hold it to the point where it's stable. Some people, if it's like a really long string, you're going to want to wrap it around your arm a few times. This necklace can actually be used as a pendulum, and I have used it as a pendulum before. However, you want it to be long enough, that way it'll still swing on its own. And then you're going to want to make sure that you're not too shaky, because simple movements can affect the reading. I've done this before where I've accidentally jerked my hand or something and it's totally changed the intention of the reading. So you're going to want to make sure that your hand, I would rest your arm on a table like I'm doing now. Now I'm going to try to make it as still as I possibly can. Pendulums are known to answer yes or no questions, and there are certain ways that they'll move. They'll either move side to side, like this, back and forth, like to you and away, counterclockwise, or clockwise. Now, since each pendulum is a little bit different, you're going to want to ask them each time what yes or no is. Now this one has a little knot that I can't get out, but it still works just fine. So this one's a little bit different than my other ones. Pendulum, show me a strong yes. This one's going around in a circle. This one, a circle means yes. Alright, pendulum, show me no. So back and forth, or side to side, is no for this one, and clockwise is yes. Whereas it's the opposite with my lapis lazuli pendulum, because this one, pendulum showing yes. It's a very quick side to side. Pendulum show me no. A very quick, enthusiastic circular motion. Alright guys, so I apologize for the really weird outfit change now. The day that I was filming, I realized one of my pendulums wasn't really wanting to work with me. So I decided to refilm the rest of that video today. So, yeah. Alright, let's get back to the video when we talk about pendulums. Historically, pendulums were a common tool to use to try to figure out whether a pregnant woman's babies were going to be a boy or a girl. Usually, if it moved back and forth like this, it represented a boy, and if it started moving in a circle like this, it was supposed to represent a girl. If you look at old wives' tales, or whatever those things are called, you will find pendulums mentioned quite a bit. Like I was saying before, when you use a pendulum, you're going to want to make sure that you hold the pendulum between two fingers pretty securely, that way it doesn't like fall out of your hands. And also you're going to want to try to hold your arm as still as possible. Like I was saying, you're going to want to probably rest your arm on a table when you do this, because then you're less likely to move your hand or your arm. You're mainly first going to ask a pendulum to answer you as to what's yes. So you're going to be like, show me yes. Okay, my arm may have moved because I don't have it resting, but the circular motion for this pendulum is a yes. Okay, the pendulum show me no. Back and forth for this pendulum usually means no. Now it will differ depending on which pendulum that you use. As I was saying before, they can move in all sorts of different directions. But yeah, pendulums. Now let's look at some pendulum boards. Alright, now these are two examples of some pendulum boards that I have. This one I got from magicplanet.com. And basically what you do is you hold your pendulum over the mat and you ask it a question. And sometimes this can help you get more than yes or no answers, because obviously it can swing in the direction of no, or swing in the direction of yes, or even the maybes. However, then you get some more complex ones, such as this pendulum mat, where you have numbers, you have yeses and nos, but you can also ask questions. Like, the plus sign could be used as to ask, do I need to ask more questions? Or like, is there more I should know? Or is there less I should know? Etc., etc. Now normally between questions, what I like to do is kind of tap the pendulum in the middle when I'm using this mat in particular to kind of stop it. And then I'll go back and ask it another question. Then it'll swing whichever direction that it wants to go to answer my question. Like any other time that you use a pendulum, you should always try to make sure that your arm is as still as possible. If it's not, that can definitely tamper the outcome of the reading. So, for example, when you are using a pendulum mat or a pendulum board, you can also rest your arm on a table. starting to pick up.